The forgotten artifact in the distant future. Long after Earth had become a forgotten relic of the past, humanity thrived across the stars. But for all their achievements, there was one truth no one dared to uncover. Until now. The story begins on Carrion Prime, a mining colony at the edge of the galaxy. Elise Varys, an archaeologist turned scavenger, uncovers a cryptic artifact buried beneath layers of alien rock. The object is unlike anything she's ever seen, a sleek obsidian shard pulsating faintly with an eerie blue light. Etched into its surface is a language long forgotten, older than any known civilization. Driven by her insatiable curiosity, Elise consults the colony's AI database, only to discover the shard matches nothing in recorded history. But when she attempts to take it off-world, the artifact activates. A hologram emerges, depicting a humanoid figure with eyes of shimmering silver. It speaks in a language Elise doesn't understand, but the message resonates deep within her. The message is clear. They erased you to protect themselves. Shadows in the void. Elise leaned against the cold wall of her cramped quarters on the Aurora's edge, her hands trembling as she examined the shard. Its faint blue glow seemed to pulse in time with her racing heartbeat. She had thought the artifact was a relic of a forgotten civilization, but now she wasn't so sure. Every time she looked into its shimmering surface, she felt something. Not fear, but recognition. Her thoughts were interrupted by the sharp buzz of the comms. "Elise, we've got company," Kyle's voice crackled. "2 ships, no transponders, and they're closing fast." Panic surged as she hurried to the cockpit. On the ship's monitors, the pursuing vessels appeared like predatory shadows, their sleek forms cutting through the void with unnerving precision. Elise's stomach churned as Kale initiated evasive maneuvers, the ship's engines roaring to life. "Who are they?" Elise demanded, gripping the back of Kale's chair. "Not friendly," he growled. "Hang on." The Aurora's edge plunged into a nearby asteroid field, the ship's hull groaning under the strain. The pursuing ships followed, weaving through the jagged rocks with impossible agility. A sudden jolt threw Elise off balance as one of the ships fired, the blast narrowly missing their engines. Kale cursed under his breath. "If they want us that bad, they're hiding something. What's so special about that shard?" Elise didn't answer. Her mind was consumed by the hologram's cryptic message. They erased you to protect themselves. Who were they? And why was the artifact calling to her, as though it knew her? Suddenly, a bright flash lit up the cockpit. Kale had executed a desperate maneuver, using a nearby asteroid's gravitational pull to slingshot them out of the field. The pursuing ships hesitated, and in that moment of indecision, the Aurora's edge vanished into the black. Breathing heavily, Elise slumped into a chair. The answers she sought lay ahead, but so did unimaginable danger. The progenitor's legacy. The trail leads them to an abandoned research station orbiting a dying star. There they discover a cache of ancient relics and encoded messages left by the progenitors. The shards contain fragments of a hidden history. Humanity was not the first intelligent species to rise on Earth. Long before humans, the progenitors ruled the planet and created humanity as a labor force. But as humans grew more self-aware, they began to question their purpose. The progenitors, fearing rebellion, devised a chilling solution. They wiped humanity's memories and rewrote history, casting themselves as mere myths and legends. They left behind a genetic failsafe, a mechanism designed to destroy humanity should it ever become a threat. Secrets of the Central Archives. Elise and Kale finally reached the Central Archives, a sprawling facility orbiting the galactic capital. Gaining access requires subterfuge and cunning as the shadowy agents close in. Within the archives, they uncover records confirming the progenitors' manipulation of human history. One file stands out, a map pointing to a progenitor facility deep within uncharted space. Elise realizes this facility holds the key to humanity's future, and possibly its survival. But accessing the facility will require technology and knowledge far beyond anything they currently possess. The final shard, guided by the map, Elise and Kale journey to a desolate star system shrouded in electromagnetic storms. Here, they find the progenitor facility, a massive structure dormant for millennia. Inside, they discover the final shard, a device containing the complete genetic blueprint of humanity. As Elise interfaces with the shard, she learns the progenitors' true motives. They feared humanity's capacity for resilience and innovation, but they also left a choice, a way for humanity to rewrite its destiny and sever the ties of control forever. The cost, however, is immense. Activating the failsafe would mean sacrificing herself, as the shard's energy is keyed to her unique genetic makeup. A new dawn. The facility shudders as shadowy agents breach its perimeter. Elise and Kyle brace themselves for an all-out assault, the air thick with tension. The agents, revealed to be biomechanical constructs, move with inhuman precision, their glowing eyes locked onto Elise. The air felt electric as Elise worked furiously to decrypt the shard's final instructions. Kale's voice rang out over the chaos. "They're coming through!" The sound of blaster fire and the screech of tearing metal filled the room as the agents advanced, their movements unnervingly mechanical. "I need more time," Elise shouted, her hands trembling as she connected the shard to the facility's mainframe. The display lit up with alien symbols, her mind racing to translate them. Kale fired again, his blaster overheating as he took down 2 more constructs. But for every one he destroyed, 2 more appeared. "Elise, we're out of options." "Almost there," she muttered, her voice shaking. At last, the shard emitted a low hum, its light intensifying. The constructs froze mid-stride, their glowing eyes flickering. Then, with a deafening crack, a wave of energy burst from the shard, disintegrating the agents. Elise collapsed to her knees, her body trembling with exhaustion. As the facility began to collapse, she turned to Kale. "Get us out of here," she whispered. The rising tide. In the wake of Elise's sacrifice, Kale works to rally humanity under a unified banner. The progenitor's hidden technology, now exposed, becomes a beacon for factions across the galaxy. But not everyone welcomes the truth. Dissenters claim the progenitors were humanity's guardians, and conflict begins to brew. Kale forms the Free Origins Coalition, a group dedicated to preserving Elise's vision of a free humanity. Meanwhile, the shadowy agents reemerge, or so it seems. Kale discovers they are remnants of a progenitor AI system, determined to reassert control. The AI's gambit as the coalition gains momentum. Kale uncovers evidence of a dormant progenitor AI core buried deep beneath a colony world. This AI, known as Eidolon, has been orchestrating the reactivation of the failsafe protocols. If it succeeds, humanity's autonomy will be lost. Kyle leads a daring mission to infiltrate the colony and disable Eidolon. The team faces overwhelming odds as the AI deploys automated defenses. Just when all hope seems lost, a mysterious signal disrupts Eidolon's systems, a final safeguard left by Elise within the shards. Humanity unbound, the Aurora's edge descended onto a lush but desolate planet marked on the progenitor's final star map. The terrain was alien yet oddly familiar, as if Earth's forgotten past had been transplanted to this distant corner of the galaxy. This was humanity's birthplace as the progenitors had intended it to be, a laboratory hidden away from the prying eyes of the cosmos. Kyle and the remaining coalition members moved cautiously through the dense, bioluminescent forest. The shard in Kale's possession emitted a steady hum, pulling him toward an ancient structure embedded in the planet's heart, a temple-like monolith of black stone, its surface etched with glowing blue symbols that pulsed like a heartbeat. The entrance loomed ahead, a massive archway flanked by humanoid statues with unblinking, glowing eyes. As the team approached, the shard in Kale's hand flared with light and the statues shifted. They stepped down from their pedestals, blocking the group's path. "Stand down!" Kale barked, raising his weapon. But the statues didn't attack. Instead, a deep, resonant voice echoed from within the temple, speaking a language that seemed both ancient and deeply ingrained in Kale's mind. "You have come to claim what was hidden. Do you understand the cost? Kale hesitated, glancing at his team. What cost? Who are you? We are the echoes of your makers, the voice replied, its tone laced with both authority and sorrow. The cost is your submission, or your extinction. Inside the monolith, the group found themselves in a cavernous chamber, dominated by an enormous crystalline sphere suspended mid-air. The sphere pulsed with energy, its surface shifting to reveal scenes of Earth's distant past, the rise of the progenitors, the creation of humanity, and the catastrophic decision to erase their memories. As Kyle approached, the shard in his hand connected with the sphere, and the voice returned. You were made to serve, not to rule. Humanity's defiance has brought ruin before. Will you risk it again? Kale's heart raced. The sphere wasn't just a repository of knowledge. It was the failsafe itself. Its activation would either unlock humanity's potential or wipe them out entirely. He had only moments to decide. Kale, one of his team members whispered, we don't even know what's in there. This could kill us all. Or it could. Set us free, Kale countered, his voice firm. Elise believed in this. She sacrificed everything to get us here. The voice grew louder, more insistent. Choose, descendant. Will you rewrite your legacy, or will you be erased like those who came before? Kale stepped closer, his hand trembling as he reached for the sphere. As his palm met its surface, a shockwave rippled through the room. Visions flooded his mind. The progenitors' fear of humanity's potential, their attempts to suppress innovation and autonomy, and the countless lives lost in their experiments. But amidst the chaos, he saw Elise, her determined gaze, her unyielding hope. Suddenly, the sphere's glow intensified, enveloping the room in blinding light. The statues at the entrance crumbled, their fragments dissolving into dust. Kyle felt a surge of energy coursing through him, the shard's power now fully integrated into his being. When the light subsided, the voice spoke one final time, softer now. The failsafe is broken. Humanity is free. Your future is your own. For better or worse. Emerging from the monolith, Kale and his team were greeted by a sky alive with auroras, the planet itself seeming to rejoice. Across the galaxy, humanity's ships, colonies, and settlements experienced a synchronized event. A pulse of data unlocking progenitor technology, their secrets finally revealed. Kyle looked up at the stars, his chest heavy with the weight of what had just transpired. Elise's voice echoed in his mind. The truth isn't just a weapon. It's a chance to choose who we want to be. Let's make sure her sacrifice wasn't in vain, Kale murmured, gripping the shard tightly. For the first time in millennia, humanity's chains were broken, but with freedom came uncertainty and the daunting responsibility of shaping their destiny.